I was watching this interesting YouTube video last night, and it was talking about how there was only 1% of people who were the dark chosen ones. Not meaning that they were dark, that they walked the part, they act the part, they conjured dark spells and worked with dark magic, but because there was nothing that could faze them. They never came from an emotional place. They understood that everything just is how it's supposed to be. They didn't rush. They understood about time. They knew how to control their emotions. There was nothing that they needed to sit with or contemplate on or heal from, because this 1% had been through some of the worst things imaginable in their life that they could possibly ever go through. So they were unbothered. They didn't adorn themselves with crystals and protection jewelry. They didn't need it, because they had come through some of the worst things that they could possibly come through in their life, and they went and sat in the void. And I'm not talking about the dark of the night. I'm not talking about the shadow work. I'm talking about how they understood where they were when they sat in the darkness, when they sat in the void, and everything inside of them wanted to scream, wanted to yell, wanted to let go, they just wanted to end this life in this human form. But there was something that crept in their mind that told them, no, keep going. And as I was watching this video, I began to reflect on aspects of my life. And I was like, I'm not quite part of that 1% yet. But I do understand what it feels like to not feel bothered. And in the video, I was talking about how the 1%, they don't label themselves. They have gifts, but everything is inside of them. They're powered. They don't need nobody to call them a sage. They don't need nobody to call them a shaman. They don't need to be called a priest or a priestess or an auntie or an uncle. They don't need labels, because they know that they just are. They sit quietly. They move quietly. They move how they choose to move. And they can walk into a room that is so full of spiritual people dressed in white, got on their beads, got on their crystals, got on their crowns, got on all of that jewelry. And they can walk into that room. And the moment they walk into the room, the whole energy shifts. Not because they're trying to carry the ego with them, but they walk in silence. And people can feel the energy and the shift. And then some people may even try to figure out what just happened, because somebody powerful just walked in the room. They are not concerned about negative energies attacking them. They're not concerned about people hexing them, because what they have just went through, nobody can touch them anyway. So why be concerned about it? They know that all they have to do is give you a glance. All they have to do is say, peace, be still. All they have to do is just smile. Look. And then realize, hey, this is not for me. They get up and they walk out and they leave it alone. This is the 1%. And maybe I am not giving myself enough credit, but I realize that, there are still some things that I tend to be bothered by just a little bit. And so for the next 3 days, I am going on this huge fast. I am going to sit more in the darkness. And I am going to plunge and pull and pluck out everything that keeps me connected so deeply to stuff that is not even important. And I thought I'd share this with you all because a lot of y'all call yourself the chosen ones. A lot of y'all have all of these labels. A lot of y'all say, don't F with me. My people got me. All of this other stuff. But do you really know who you truly are? And have you sat with yourself in the darkness, in silence, to examine who you truly are? To remember who you truly are? And to awaken who you truly are?